Well, you know, in the entrepreneurship world, we talk about it. What you're saying is execution is everything. Ideas are anywhere, but it's all about how you execute and how bad do you want it, right? And
Well, an idea could be a wish, right?
right.
But the ones that actually do something about it are the ones that make that wish into reality.
Okay.
And but we all have that capability. Now, some people may say, "Yeah, Fab, but my idea is going to take $2 million to produce,
Right.
and I'm broke." Well, guess what? There's so many people out there now, more than ever, especially since 2008 with the financial crash, that are looking for what they call alternative investments. Now, they could be capital investors, or they could be individuals just like you and me, that instead of getting the average 4 or 5% on your conservative investments, maybe you have the potential of getting 10 or 12 or even 20. So now you're going to invest in an idea that a time has come, or an idea that is fulfilling with your values or is aligned with your values. And I find people all the time asking, hey, are there any ideas out there that you want to do? I mean, I give you an example of one idea of a friend of mine. So a friend of mine is in the restaurant business. You know, he is a very famous person that he created concepts for restaurants in which it's estimated that he's made over $10 billion based on these concepts. And he sold them. He creates them, he sells them. He creates them, he sells them. But what most people don't know is that one time there was these two doctors that had this great idea, had been researching it with a major university. The university, after 8 years, ran out of funding. They told the doctors, hey, we believe in your idea, but we can't fund you anymore. They gave the rights to the doctors, right? Because they were just going to close the lab. The doctors were looking for somebody out there that would listen. And a friend of theirs said, hey, I know this restaurant owner. He just sells his restaurant. He may want to invest capital in your business. Well, the investment was for $250,000. And that same investment, a couple of years later, was sold for $800 million.
Wow.
That's how one idea, he's done 40 of those type of ideas since then. And as he's done these things, he says to me one thing. He says, the older I get, the more that I realize that when I invest in things that matter, because this thing that was invented saves lives. When you invest in things that matter, the more money that I make, because now I'm contributing to the world something that has greater value. Now, his restaurant concepts are still around, and if I mention them, you'll know who it is. But that wasn't what was important. What was important is the fact that he recognized that he wanted to put his money in something that was constructive. So now all these people come to him because they see that he's looking for ways to invest. So people like that are out there, and you don't have to invest in the millions. But listen, there's some investments out there that could be even, $1,000. That can be a great investment for somebody that just needs $1,000 to manifest that thing. I give you another example. I was sitting at this restaurant about probably 6 months ago, and the waiter said to me, that he was trying to make some more money because he had an additional baby. And I always encourage people to be entrepreneurs, to think out of the box, to work longer hours, to be able to come up with projects that they can be independent and not depend on a third party for their salary. So I said, do you have any ideas of things that you want to do? And he says to me, I do have one idea that I want to create this thing of car washes that are waterless. They have these units that help you, through special machines that you don't need waters and all of that to wash the cars. And I said, that's a great idea. I mean, we live in a state or in a city that's very polluted. We have construction going on. The cars are always dirty. That's a great idea. He says, but I've been saving and I only got X amount of money. And he says to me, all I need is this I can buy the equipment and start working, and immediately I said to him, come by my office this afternoon and I will give you the remaining money. And he opened up his shop, and it's been 6 months now, and he's now almost 100% equal in business. He never left his restaurant job, but his goal is to actually be able to not only replace his income as a waiter, but then be able to now create multiple of this and put other people to work. So now he has an investment that can be multiplied and multiplied. And his investment, actually the investment that I gave him was less than $500. It was not much. He just needed enough money to get that machine. But he could have stayed at that point in life for another 6 months, a year, or maybe he would have never done it. And I find that most of the time, and you heard this many times, right when we're about to break through is when over 80 to 90% of the people give up. Right when we're about to break through. So right now, if you're sitting out there just feeling like you know you've done it, you've had it, you've given, you've tried, you know, it happens to all of us. And find out, I mean, I'll never forget the first time I met Mark Victor Hansen, and he was telling me how many times he's gone bankrupt, you know, from being a millionaire to a bankrupt. But he said that the important thing is that he kept always trying. You never give up. You never give up. Because that's the one thing. Resilience is the key. You know, Oprah was told that she didn't have the personality to be a right anchor, you know, and she was demoted from a promotion of being in front of the camera. Michael Jordan was, told that he was actually let go of his high school basketball team, and he was depressed because he didn't have any talent. Walt Disney was fired from his job because of lack of creativity.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on, I can give you examples after examples. And the thing is that each one of these individuals that I just mentioned, they're inside of you. They're inside of all of us.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we don't have people around us telling us all the time that that's the case. Well, guess what? You don't have to have that. You tell yourself, surround yourself with the right images, the right people, the right concepts, the right belief systems, and you'll see that your life will begin to change in front of you, slowly but surely. Sometimes automatically overnight, but most of the time I find slowly but surely, and then you begin to realize, wow, look how far I've come. Look how far I've come.